This is DropTent Media Network.
Hey, hold right there. Don't dare skip this. This is an important message. Me and my boy, Albert Davis, we want to tell you about our podcast, Seriously Dad. Albert, why should they listen?
Because it's the best podcast in the world. It's by two comedians who are dads. And you know what we're talking about? Being dads. It's called Seriously Dad. Check us out on social media at Seriously Dad Podcast. And
anywhere you get your podcast, that's where we're at. We're funny. We got some great guests coming our way. We cover the topics you want to hear. Check us out.
Need a cut? I know I do. At least once every few days. What's that? You can't afford it. Price is too high? No need to worry. Phenomenal's Barbershop and Salon offers top-notch grooming at an affordable price with no long waits. Located at 40 Berlin Road, Clementon Lake Plaza, New Jersey, right next to Clementon Park. Call 856-782-4900 to set up an appointment, pull up, and walk out looking phenomenal. High IQ basketball with Brian Isley and Raymond Byrd. What's going on, bro?
I'm gonna go for like a quadruple double.
And welcome to another edition of High IQ Basketball with Brian Isley and Raymond Byrd. I am Brian Isley. That's Raymond Byrd. That's super producer Neil. I'm up 3-1.
That's what you lead off with, right?
I gotta lead off
That's
with that.
I
gotta let the
that's
viewing
what you chose,
public
right?
know what my record is.
Every time you got the hoodie on 3/4 and you start acting weird.
I got the 3/4 hoodie on. I'm not because I'm 3/4 bald. I ain't got it all the way shaven. You know what I mean? So I'm gonna keep it covered. I'm gonna keep it, you know what I mean? I'm a thug today. We're gonna get right into it. The Lakers played the Rockets, and Lakers won. Lakers, I think, are at 12-8,
9
or 12-9.
Yeah.
I think the Rockets are only one game below 500.
Either they're 9-10 or 9-9.
Okay. And not really much to talk about other than besides the fact that Bron and Rockets coach Ime Udoka got into a verbal battle, back and forth verbally, a war of wits, if you will, and which resulted in Udoka getting ejected and Bron getting a technical double text, right. But Udoka already had one,
so he got
tossed. It didn't look like much was going on. I could read lips pretty good. I didn't see any obscenities or anything like that. I don't know what was going on, but apparently something was said that the ref was standing there right in the middle of them.
It's probably rules you can't interact with the players though. That's probably one of the rules where you're, as a coach, you're not allowed to get into that verbal back and forth with another player. That's what it probably initiated.
I thought that rule was just in place for assistants. I thought assistants couldn't have any verbal interaction with referees, opposing players. I thought that was just for the assistants, but maybe I'm wrong. But even if that was the rule, right? Why would the ref wait for 30 seconds to tee both of them up? He was standing right there listening to the entire conversation.
All right, bro. Let me dig into. First of all, did you see Bron's 360 layup?
That was crazy.
Wild crazy.
That was crazy. Even though he was only like 8 inches off the ground.
Right. It still was wild crazy.
It was wild
because
crazy.
It was contested and
it should have been an and one.
Yeah, it was tough. But that kind of tells you how old Bron is. Like, because dude, is Udoka getting into that argument with anybody else? You know what I mean? Like, you're getting into that argument with Bron because we the same age. You know what I mean? We could have been arguing about anything. You know what I mean? It might not have been about basketball or whatever the case was.
Bron said they were talking about Thanksgiving.
Who knows? But you know what I mean? Whatever it was, and like you said, we don't know what was said. He could have had a calm face and been talking super reckless,
super wild, crazy to him. Could have been.
So it could have been FUs, whatever. You know what I mean? And Brian, who knows what Brian said to him? You know how them conversations could possibly
go. Who knows? Brian could have said, "I saw that interview with Jeezy and Nia Long."
Right? Who knows what was said? You know what I mean? That could have led to that. But at the end of the day, I think this kind of speaks to the culture of basketball, right? It's so soft. The referees officiate the game where a guy dunks on somebody and you give him a hard stare and you get in the tech.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? You any kind of trash talking back and forth, you're getting attacked. Like they try to diminish that part of basketball, which is actually the essence of basketball. Even when you playing street ball, part of ball is I'm talking trash to you. I'm giving you buckets. I'm giving you this work. And not necessarily like this was two competitive, two athletes. He's the coach and he's the player, but it could have been some competitive energy going back and forth. Oh, bro, stop flopping or whatever the case was.
I really wasn't that guy. You were more so than I was.
Right.
That's how you got going.
Yeah, that's what it was for me. Like we hooping, we going at it. And if I'm struggling, I'm gonna start talking trash to get myself built back up.
Yeah. He was more so that guy. I wasn't that guy. I just shoot your head off.
not my head, Eric. He was just shooting my head off. I'm talking about some other people.
I am. I mean, we was mostly on the same team all the time, but that's neither here nor there. I digress. Ime Udoka, he had the job in Boston. We all know what went down with that. We don't know all the ins and outs, but we know the gist of it. He did a fantastic job, led them to the finals, got suspended, and then eventually let go. Now he's in Houston trying to implement a brand new culture with a very young team and a player or two who have been shunned from other organizations that services were no longer needed, i.e. Dylan Brooks.
I think, it's actually a decent nucleus there. You got a leader in Van Vliet who's been on the championship team before. So he brings a level of leadership and that grown man in the room. Not to say he's necessarily the leader, but, he's been in those situations before. Mm-hmm. And then you got that young star they got over there.
They got Green.
Green can Jabari. Play. And think about it. I think if they still had Porter got in trouble. But Porter, can play. Porter get buckets. You know what I mean? They lost him completely. He gets in trouble with his off the court situation and they lose him. That's 20 plus points a game that they just lost. And you can't possibly replace that. So
I think you can. I think Jabari Smith is that talented.
I don't think
where he becomes that 20 points per game scorer.
Becomes that because you got Van Vliet. That's a dub. You got the Bull Green, who he's going to be a 25 to 30 point scorer when he matures into what he's going to be.
I agree.
His role is going to be a 15, 17 points again, kind of more like Mobley. 15 is for the Cavs. 15,
17. Let's say the best case scenario is 17-10.
Right.
That's excellent. We've all talked about, both always talked about how your third option anywhere between 15 to 20 and 10 is an excellent third option. We've talked about Glenn Rice. We've talked about Chris Bosh. We talked about Kevin Love. If Jabari Smith can get into that third role and be a 15 to 20 and 10 to 12 guy in a third spot with limited shots, that's
I completely agree. They got a lot of young talent. They got a lot of guys who are going to grow into more than what you see they are today.
Fact.
You know what I mean? So they're going to get better. I know people were against the Dylan Brooks. Oh, why they give him so much? I think Brooks fits perfectly over there. You need that dog on your roster. He's super competitive and he's actually playing good basketball. He's shooting the three well. He's still defending and he's playing his role.
The three better than he's ever shot.
He's playing his role to perfection. They have a good young team. I expect them to be in that 10 to 12 area where they're going to be in the play-in, fighting to get in the playoffs. And that's going to be a good experience for them. You know what I mean? I think they're one of those teams where they're going to get better just with age, not necessarily better with going to add other players.
With age and experience.
Right.
You're absolutely right with that. We also talk about that person that's in that third role. We talk about Tobias Harris as well.
For Tobias, it's perfect, especially with no Harden on the floor, the ball moving around with people getting shots in natural positions versus you getting the ball with one guy dribble. I break the defense down, I swing it to you in the corner, and now you got to take a shot. Everybody's able to play their style of basketball.
Yeah.
And be comfortable.
Udoka is bringing in a culture where, they're buying into a defensive mindset as well. And it helps when you get Brooks over there, who Brooks fancies himself as a stopper. He fancies himself as a LeBron stopper. And I love that there's actually something there. Like there's a rivalry there. Like Bron can brush it off however he wants, but I see their interaction on the court. I saw the and one when Bron got him on the post, and I saw Bron do the flex. Usually Bron does the shoulder roll once. He did it twice, and he was looking at Brooks when he did it.
I think it is Bron's older. I think younger LeBron, you're beneath me. You can't do nothing with me. This version of Bron, Brooks can do something with him. Brooks gave Bron problems in that playoff series. Even though the Lakers won the series, Brooks gave him problems. He forced Bron off the basketball. If you ever notice, when they play the Houston Rockets, Bron's not bringing the ball on the court. He's not initiating the offense. He's in more of a scoring role. He's setting screens. He's rolling. He's doing things to get himself the ball with Brooks not on him.
He's smart. He's putting himself in a position where when he gets the ball, Brooks is at a disadvantage.
Correct.
When Bron gets the ball against Brooks, he's usually 5 feet and in.
Facts.
He's on the block. You rarely see that from Bron, even at this stage in his career. But when Brooks is on him, Brooks takes that away because he pressures him all the way up the floor.
Right.
So Bron has to get to a spot. He has to get to the blocks, or he has to get to the elbows, and that's where he can operate against Brooks. Now, Brooks does get in foul trouble because he's crazy aggressive, and he's a lot smaller than LeBron. It's a matchup, especially when he get him on the block. It's 2 points. No problem. But it does take away that perimeter threat that Bron presents with anybody else.
Right.
I do agree with that.
So I think Brooks does his job, you know what I mean? But I think Bron entertains it because he knows that, me scoring on you now, I really put in some work. Versus young LeBron, I would kill you. Young LeBron would kill this guy. It wouldn't be a matchup.
Absolutely. It's like us in the gym. We a little older now. We play against the young boys. It's like, yo, bro, if we was in the same age, this wouldn't even be a discussion.
Right.
I'm struggling right now because I'm old.
Facts. But Bron's still giving you this court.
But I'm still better than you. I'm
still giving you this deuce five.
You feel me? Bron gave that man a 2020 game.
He gave him 38 earlier, right?
Yeah, but I'm talking about in that playoff series when Brooks was still in Memphis.
It was an ugly dub.
I don't give a damn. 20 and 20.
Ugly
that's
dub.
20 and 20. There's no such thing as an ugly dub.
Listen, I think I started at the beginning of the year. I said, you get Bron, and you get LeBron. That was LeBron. Dylan Brooks turns Bron into LeBron.
Okay, so LeBron is still better than 90% of the league. Bron is better than 98% of the league.
Bron's better than everybody ever.
I agree with that.
Bron's
I do.
Better than everybody.
But I noticed I just said Bron. I just said sometimes this year you get Bron.
Yeah, you don't get no Bron. You get Bron sometimes.
Right. Which is still I have him on my fantasy. He's still a 5-star player.
Yeah, listen, Bron's smart. He know how to throw the numbers up.
Oh, see, don't start
I ain't
that
hate
shit.
it. Little Bron's my guy.
Don't
He know how.
shit.
Yo, I've seen Bron be in games. Lakers is getting smoked. Bron,
when?
I need to get
games?
I need to get my 10 points. I'm gonna figure this out. I remember the game last year. Remember Bron sprained his ankle? When he messed the ankle up, it was bad. It cost Bron to miss major time that year, right?
Yeah.
Bron stayed in there and hit a trade ball, so he got 10 points.
He got 10
on
the dot?
On the dot. Bron had no business being in that game. Bron stuck around in that game and shot a tray ball and made it, so he got 10 or whatever that tray ball put him over the double digits. Maybe we put him at 12 or 11.
Yeah, it's an all-time record for
I dig
consecutive
it.
games.
That injury kept him out for a month or so. Months. I forget the time frame. He missed significant time. So it was a major injury.
Keep my record intact.
Bron came back in the game
after doing it intact.
Bron is very aware.
You would do the same thing.
I dig what you're saying, but my man is very aware of what's going on.
Before I take this leave of absence, I'm going to keep my stats intact.
Yo, Brian is like me in high school. I'm walking over to the table, seeing the scores. Let me see the book. Let me points that guy. You know what I mean? Like Brian is very aware of what's going on them numbers.
Switching gears just a little bit. We never really got this show didn't start when the Udoka stuff was going down. What is your take on that?
I mean, obviously, I don't think we have all the information.
No,
but from what I know, I don't know if do you fire somebody? Do you do what y'all did to him over that? Like, he messed with somebody within the organization, right? And I guess the rumor is it was the owner's wife.
That's the rumor.
All right, so let's say that's true, right? The owner, all right, you feel some type of way. You have an opportunity where you own a team. A level of disrespect was given out, and you get to react to that, right? Mm-hmm. You're the owner. I get that, but in regards to basketball, that NBA coach, he didn't do nothing to jeopardize the integrity of the game. He didn't cheat. He didn't bet.
Detrimental to the team.
It wasn't to the team. It was to the owner. That wasn't to the team. That wasn't a player's wife. That wasn't a
That's how it was worded.
It was, but it wasn't detrimental to the team. This was the owner's wife. It had nothing to do with the Tatum, Brown. None of these guys were affected by that. This was at the top of the totem pole in regards to the organization. So
I think I'll play devil's advocate.
You would have firing. I get it, but to sit here, we're gonna hold you hostage for the whole year and stop you from getting a Brooklyn job or whatever. I'm glad he still got work because that could have turned into we gonna blackball you and you out the league.
We're gonna talk about a situation like that later on in the show. But I'll play devil's advocate here. I'll indulge in some conversation about this on the opposite end. They worded it to the team, right?
Right.
And in a way that it is because it affects morale. The top brass. Let me explain. The top brass, the owner, felt some kind of way. Now I don't rock with my coach at all. The coach don't rock with me. This is personal. Once personal bleeds into professional, the lines get blurred and everything gets messed up. And that trickles down from owner to GM to coach to the players. There's going to be a sense of awkwardness throughout the season. And we got to nip this in the bud to get this done. How they did it was petty and messed up and childish and uncalled for. And they threw Udoka under the bus while keeping the John under wraps and safe. That was wrong. That was foul. That was corny. But in terms of the wording, conduct detrimental to the team, yeah, I could see why they would word it that way.
Completely disagree. It's at the top of the totem pole. It's not within the team. It's not a player messing with another player's girl. It's not the coach messing with a player's girl or assistant. It's within that locker room, them four walls. No one was affected. You talking about ownership, right? If he eats it, right? Yo, I'm mad at you. I don't rock with you. Our relationship is over, right? Mm-hmm. If he, as an owner, I'm gonna keep that. That's between us. Going for after this year, we're done. We're gonna cut ties and we're going our own separate ways. It doesn't have to bleed down to the team because it doesn't affect the players on the team. It could be those rumors are gonna, like I heard this, and this, but it don't affect the players on the team because it didn't happen to you. It didn't happen to nobody within those four walls. Those guys who catch that plane to go on those road trips, it happened. It didn't affect nobody on the squad. So unless the owner allows it to, he controls if it gets to the team.
For the record, I agree with you 100%.
Right.
I just told you, disclaimer, I was just playing devil's advocate.
Right.
Just for the sake of argument, because we get texts and messages saying that we too friendly. We agree too much, so I'll take a hit on that. I still presented a compelling case, even though I didn't agree with it at all.
I dig it. I just, what I mean? Like, it don't have to affect the team. It ain't us.
That's the end of the first half, guys. I gotta say, I think I liked the ending there. That was good. That was good. I got Brian at 16, right behind at 15. Only for that last point. I feel like, and the devil's advocate, I was like, that's good stuff.
Yeah, I appreciate that. Nice. Quarter number 2, I'm up 16-15, and I'm also up 3-1.
After every quarter, they're just going to update us. for my career.
Bill said you can take us into this topic. We're gonna talk about what Bill Simmons said.
So Bill
Bron.
Simmons had posted on Instagram where he was just giving his viewpoint on LeBron James's Game 6 against when it was Boston versus Miami, and the way he broke it down was just crazy to me. Like he was just talking. Him and his father attended the game as Boston fans, and they're covering the game. And he was just like, "Yo, Bron just walked out, and he walked out to the game onto the court, and he had this facial expression that kind of seemed like either he was disconnected, he had given up, he wasn't really interacting with his friends, or maybe he was going for the kill. Like you didn't really know what was going to take place." With his facial expression or how he was conducting himself prior to that game. He was like, it was almost as if Brian had some imaginary headphones on because he wasn't really rocking with nobody. And he said, game starts and you could tell like the crowd is giddy. They ready to explode. They ready to shut this down. Like you know how it is in regards to people disliking LeBron, period. But we got a chance to bury you. You're like, y'all were the favorites. You went and put this super team together, and we're about to kill this.
Yeah.
So we're ready to rock. And he was like, yo, Brian never even let us enjoy that game. He never allowed us to enjoy being in that arena. He was like, yo, we left that game with 3 minutes to go. And he was like, it wasn't because we was bad fans. It wasn't because we was trying to beat the traffic. It was because we wanted to get away from LeBron James. He said, yo, LeBron was like a serial killer. He was like, yo, if you watch a little serial killer movie or whatever, and you see the dude putting he done dismembered the body and he putting the body parts in the freezer. He was like, that's what they look like. And yo, the way he broke that down, it made me relive that moment on, because he was like, yo, Brian wasn't just an elimination game, right? This was a career elimination game. Like everything that you walked in, the chosen one, the potential to be the greatest of all time, all that was at stake in one game, which is crazy because that's the story of LeBron's career. Like we was talking about it on a previous episode. Well, in that series against Golden State, the player of the era was on the line in one playoff series just for LeBron. Year. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So for LeBron in that game, his whole career was on the line. And to show up like that against them, like that wasn't just beating the Memphis Grizzlies or beating the Golden State Warriors. Like you were beating the hard-nosed Boston Celtics with championship pedigree. They just came into Miami and took Game 5, and they got you at the crib.
For an
supposed to go home,
game. Not just elimination game for the season, for that Heat roster, because they would have blew it up.
That was it. Like you supposed to go home. You don't win under Game 5 in Miami, you lose that, you go back to Boston, it's a wrap. Especially against a team that is built like that. Yeah. Boston was built like that. They had championship pedigree. They have climbed the mountain before. Yeah. They knew what it took to get it done, and they hated you.
They did hate it.
They would have took joy in ending all that.
Absolutely.
That's
like
why KG feel how he feel about
That's
him.
why KG feel the way he feel about him now. KG is and Pierce, they have turned the corner
and called him the GOAT.
They
for
them
two to call him the GOAT, that say a lot about Brian because they hate LeBron. Paul Pierce still got some dislike for LeBron.
But that's my thing. That's my thing, right? And we're gonna get back to the Game 6 in a second. But I just want to. We have this conversation all the time. It's one thing for you to dislike a player and root against a player or even hate a player. We've all been there. We've all had players that we dislike, couldn't stand. But it's another thing to let that hate blind you from the greatness that is that player. That's another thing entirely. Blind hate is something I can't tolerate. I was on the LeBron hater side. For years, I was Kobe and shut the hell up. That's what I was on. That was it for me. Me and this guy used to have debates for hours on end. He was telling me Bron is the guy. I'm like, are you kidding me? Is Kobe being Bryant? It is a distant second. That's what I was like. But I had to realize, and what did it for me was, and I was late. I admit I was late because I was just reluctant. I was just fighting against nostalgia, my childhood hero, Kobe. I knew about Kobe since his sophomore year at Lower Marion. I had newspaper clippings in my pocket going to school talking about this guy. So it was just a nostalgia, and he's top 5 all time. But 2016 NBA Finals, down 3-1 against a 73-9 team. This guy, along with Kyrie Irving, willed his team to victory and won a Game 7 against the Golden State Warriors. And if Golden State wins that series and wins the championship at 73-9, they are labeled the greatest basketball team of all time. When he did that and did it in spectacular fashion, 41-41 triple-double, I was like, yo, this guy's a GOAT. There's no argument. I still don't like him. At that point, I still don't like him. But I gotta give him his flowers. I gotta give him his just due. I can't be one of those guys who blindly hate, or when you ask them, yo, why don't you like so and so? They can't give you a valid answer. They can't give you a logical reason why they don't like them.
I wanted to say sorry.
Go
the
ahead.
only thing I'm saying is I just because I heard the exact thing. I've been pointing towards your first episode. Two people I've been talking to about basketball because I'm not kidding. Just recently, I was working freelancing, and a guy said the ice in the veins in terms of Michael Jordan, the verbatim, like just that's all I hear now, and I'm like, gotta watch the episode.
Right.
You know,
I had a friend, my boy D. He was like, "Yo, we argue back and forth. He's like, I'm Jordan. It's never LeBron. It's always Jordan." He was like, "Yo, I watched your first episode, man." And
he told me too.
You changed my mind. You changed my mind because the point, I never heard nobody give those points on why they thought LeBron was better.
He did not mention stats. One, he just said the ice in the veins. He's like, nah, he's not going to be. He just doesn't have the ice. And I'm just across the room like, damn.
Just cliched programming. ESPN, FS1, all that stuff is just seared into your brain.
It's not supported with no
fact. And you just regurgitate it. They don't even know they're saying it. They just say it because
he talks about it with the nostalgia. You know what I mean? Like it feels good to be like, no, I'm Michael Jordan's best.
I understand.
Yeah,
I understand the nostalgia totally. I got favorite players but Bernard King is one of my favorite players of all time. When I met him, I was starstruck. I couldn't talk to the man. I was so starstruck and shook. He's got 9,000 career NBA points. I'm not calling him one of the GOATs.
Yeah, you know what's crazy is, like you said, yours was Brian, right? Mine was Kobe. I was never on the Kobe train. And it wasn't until it was over that I was like, yo, like Kobe was really that guy. And I was bugging. You know what I mean? And I remember like Kobe Shaq, I was Shaq. You know what I mean? I felt like you had to choose. And then when they left, it was Shaq.
Right.
And when it was Brian, I didn't like Brian at the beginning. I remember Brian killed ball when he killed Detroit. I was like, yo, this guy can't do. What is he doing making jump shots? I was pissed. I was not on the LeBron train at that moment. Like I was, yo, he's not capable of making these shots. Like, you know what I mean?
Especially not then.
Not then. I was happy when San Antonio swept him. I was happy. I did not want to see him turn into what he turned. I was not ready for that.
Right.
But I didn't. But I had to choose between. It was Kobe, then it turned LeBron. You know what I mean? You know, at one time it was Kobe and T-Mac. You know, I was T-Mac.
It was Mac. Yeah.
So now I had to choose a side, and I'm choosing LeBron. So I've been on that side where I blindly didn't like Kobe. But I picked
LeBron because you just blindly hated Kobe. I didn't know that.
I remember my pop was like, yo, you don't like Kobe? Like, it seemed like you kind of tailor your game after Kobe. You be gunning and all that. Like, and my pop used to say that all the time to me. Like, you don't like this guy? I was like, nah, Kobe ain't my guy.
Your pop was right because you were definitely a Chuck.
From now on, anytime we get into the LeBron conversation, we just gotta just be like, okay, first episode. Just like we just gotta be like, just look in the camera, go to the first episode. That's why. That's it.
We're changing people's minds and lives with that episode.
Anytime
you get to change somebody's whole, like, that's tough to do. Because somebody is a Jordashian, they're a Jordashian for life.
It's like coming out of a cult. Like,
it's tough. It's tough to change them over, man. But back to that game, that game 6, 2012. That was it. That's the definition of clutch in terms of, because people always define clutch as the last 2 minutes of the game, the last few minutes of the game winning basket, final buzzer, and all that stuff. But that was a clutch game.
The greatest of his career.
Wow. Oh yeah.
That's the stakes. I'm talking about. I mean, Bron's had better games. We've seen Bron have better basketball games. Like you can go back to you brought up the coming back from 3-1 against Golden State. I'll compare that to, I remember, was it game 5?
Game 5.
It was game 5 when he went back to Golden State after Draymond had got suspended.
Right.
And that crowd was booing Brown on every
I was
touch.
about to say that, yeah.
They hated, they wanted to end it right there. That was because the energy was in the building. You got our boy kicked out. We're better than y'all. We about to get y'all up out of here.
I was thinking they gonna get smoked.
Right. And that's that Golden State team. I think they might have had one loss at home that entire year. If not undefeated, I forget. I think they either won or they were undefeated.
Yeah. I think they were going for the all-time home record, which Boston, the 1986 Boston Celtics had. They were 40-1 at Boston Garden.
Right. I think I want to say it.
But in the playoffs, they struggled. They were struggling at the crib and in general. I think they were like 9-9 or something like that going into. They were struggling at that point because remember Curry was hurt, and then Curry came back during the playoffs. That's when he did that "I'm back" game. That was the 73-9 run. They struggled a little bit in that playoff run, and that's when they seemed vulnerable. But when they played against Cleveland in the finals and they went up 3-1, I'm like, oh, they back to being themselves. This is a wrap.
And it's a few buildings that get like that.
Oracle was
the
crazy.
Garden, the Oracle, and
Sacramento with the cowbells.
They got a crazy building too. But the Oracle during that run was different.
It was, oh my God.
That building was different. And for Bron to go in there and to send them boys home, like that was crazy.
To send them the game 5, crazy.
But game 6 is
because you had 41. Game 6 is like you can't do it again.
Dog.
Games, yeah. All dogs.
You're going against dogs. You're going against dudes that this ain't light-skinned Steph Curry and Klay. This is dogs.
All dogs.
You know what I mean? Just these type dudes that meet me in the
KG,
hallway.
Yeah, KG told Melo his wife tastes like Honey Nut Cheerios to his face. KG told Joakim Noah, get the hell out of my face after Joakim Noah told him he was his favorite player.
Right.
These is dogs.
These
Paul
dogs.
Pierce got stabbed 6 times and lived to tell about it.
Like, yo, this is the Garden and that team that has already climbed the mountain. Like, that's his greatest game ever. That's the greatest. And like you said, I done jumped in on what you was about to say or whatever. But
I'm used to it.
But it wasn't a clutch moment. It was a clutch, like you said, clutch game.
Yeah.
Everything mattered.
Yeah.
And it was just him. It wasn't like Wade and Bosh was on board, like they were playing ball or everybody
get to that level, bro.
Nobody on Miami played well that game.
They couldn't
except
get to
Bron.
Level. They couldn't get to that level. And that had to be frustrating for Bron. Like, I wanted to form a super team. I didn't think I was going to Cleveland Part 2.
Yeah, that's what people say. Oh, Miami was a super team and all that. There wasn't no super team. You got Flash 2 years. You got Dwayne Wade the last 2. And we found out Chris Bosh was not as good as advertised. He wasn't his guy. I know how you feel about, he was in the third row. I seen Chris Bosh in a game 7 of the NBA Finals score 0. You're not him. Yeah. You're not a third way. You're not a superstar. You're not an all-star. You don't drop you 0?
0.
It's impossible. Not in a big game like that. Bron is different.
Yeah.
Bron was carrying them boys. That was no super team. That was a regular basketball team that had some good pieces on it.
He running the light.
Yeah. We're way over. I didn't want to stop again because I got to keep you guys in check. Yeah, but okay. Final thoughts, because we started talking obviously with LeBron and his recent performance. So wrap that up, in like a minute each or whatever, just kind of like you saw LeBron just ice cold, like, I would say ice in his veins is what you're describing, which is funny. He's like, you look like a serial killer. And you're like that sounds like ice in his veins. But yeah, I mean, do you are you just impressed just the fact that of the age of of LeBron, and then just being like, oh yeah, sometimes he'll just go into this mechanism?
No, because that was the one time that we saw it.
Right.
That was the one time when we saw the ice cold killer taking headshot face. That's the only time we
can't
see
tap
it.
into that again. You can't.
It was just too organic.
Recreate that moment.
Yeah.
When everything's on the line, you can't recreate that.
That first episode, people. Go listen. That was it. That's the ice in the veins.
Right. And we are at halftime. Oh, what's the score? 36. Me.
Yeah, I gave you 20. It was great. It was a great round. Great quarter.
Appreciate that. We are headed into halftime. We will be back after these messages from our sponsors. This is halftime, and halftime is sponsored by If You Know, You Know Trivia Games. This is a trivia game created by a great friend of mine and friend to the show, Saquon Gillette. If You Know, You Know is a 90s to 2020s hip-hop and R&B trivia game. Is created by Saquon Gillette. As I said, it's Star Corner Production, Star Corner Games, and it's the game you never knew you needed. Guaranteed to have you singing, dancing, laughing, and reminiscing. You'll probably learn something too. In the most fun way ever. Is for ages 13 and up. Because with hip-hop we have explicit lyrics. But yeah, if you know trivia game, get it on Amazon and wherever games are sold. That is our halftime sponsor. Shout out to- and we are back. We are headed into the third quarter, and this is the topic I've been wanting to talk about for a while. Not only did Stephen A. Smith talk about it, but Kenny Smith talked about it as well, and it's the Mark Jackson situation. He was slated to be backup color announcer for New York Knicks home games when Walt Clyde Frazier had days off. Turns out that wasn't the case. He didn't accept the job. Then you hear speculation and rumors that he had an ongoing issue with one of the members of the New York Knicks organization, and he was banned from the flights and all this other stuff that was going on. Long story short, he's not the backup color commentator for the New York Knicks. Stephen A. Smith has gone on record as saying the way Mark Jackson's being treated is, quote, bullshit. And Kenny Smith said that a little bit of truth has been turned into a lie, and it's gotten to the point where people are now running with just the lie. They won't get into specifics. Neither one of them will. But part of what we do here is, we dive into these topics and we take what we see and what we've heard and what we know and the speculation too, and we form our own opinion. Right. So I'm going to start with you. What's your take on this Mark Jackson situation? Does it seem like he's been blackballed from ever coaching in the NBA again?
I think it's unfortunate, right? Because at the essence of it was Mark Jackson was the coach of the Golden State Warriors, right? Mm-hmm. And he did a great job there. Like, he took and changed the culture. Golden State was always known as this running gun team, and he brought in a defensive mindset. He put the batteries in the back of Curry and Clay. And I'm not going to say he, is responsible for everything they turned into, but he definitely put the battery in their back in terms of, best shooting backcourt ever. He brought in, he was there when they drafted Draymond. Like, these are his guys when they were pups. Like, Draymond was a second round pick. Mm-hmm. This guy's turned into a Hall of Famer, and he is the backbone of everything that they are. And Mark did an incredible job with Golden State. And I believe that they were on their way of turning into everything that they turned into. And he got abruptly fired, and it wasn't based upon performance. Like, I think we spoke before, right? Like, we've seen coaches do horrible jobs. I seen Vogel be the coach of Indiana get fired over in Orlando, do a horrible job in Orlando. I think he was there for 2 or 3 years. Horrible record, horrible job. They were in the lottery every single year. And a couple years later, he gets the Lakers job. So he gets a premier job with Bron and AD there. He gets that job after doing a horrible job. Mark Jackson you go check his resume. His years with Golden State, they won 50 games every year. They won playoff series. The last year was there, they got knocked out, and because of all the energy that was surrounding that Clippers Golden State series, that was the time when
Donald Sterling
with the racist situation going on. So it was a lot going on right there, and they lost that in 7 games. But they were on their way. He was building something, and Steve Kerr gets there. Not to take credit away from him, but the work was done. The hard work in regards to building was already done, and all you had to do was elevate. So I think he has been blackballed, because you look over the history of the league and these coaches who've had different jobs and done horrible jobs here and still end up with coveted jobs. Like Steve Nash got a coveted job with the Brooklyn Nets with Kyrie and KD. You know what I mean? The people are getting incredible opportunities, and this guy can't get another chance. There has to be something to it in regards to whatever they have accused him of doing or took place in Golden State has lingered to the point where he can't get a job, to the point where he was calling NBA Finals games, but now you're going to tell me he's not good enough to call Knicks games? How does that doesn't make any sense, to the point where I think he came out and spoke on it, because the rumor was going around that he was on the NBA. He was supposed to get on the flight. They kicked him off the flight and decided to move in a different direction in regards to who's going to call the Knicks games. He said that I refused that game weeks ago. I refused the job weeks ago. So why would this rumor come out when there's no truth to it at all? Where we've been decided that that's not what we're going to. I'm not taking that job. But now there's a rumor that something bad happened, where something else to put that cloud around him where you can't hire this guy. So I think he's being blackballed and trying to put him in a position where you don't want to touch him.
Is it his faith?
It could. I mean, again, like, they've never given us exactly what took place in Golden State.
That's why it leads me to believe it is.
If it is, that's unfortunate. But I mean, again, we don't know what took place. We don't know to what extent he was bringing his faith into the job, because we all had different jobs, right? And different jobs. Some of these jobs don't allow you to bring that part of your life into the workplace, right? Mm-hmm. As a teacher, my wife's a teacher. You're not allowed to go into the classroom and start talking about your religion to children. You know what I mean? So in her particular job, like, you're not allowed to do that. So if that was the case and he was doing that, you know what I mean? Rules are rules. But we don't know the extent of what he was actually doing, because it's never really been given to us. That information has been given to us.
Right. And I don't think it's going to be given to us, because I think that's the case. I think he he's a minister. He's a pastor. I think he puts that first and foremost, ahead of coaching, ahead of everything else. And I think that became troublesome to the organization, because he had obligations to his church and his congregation. And he also had an obligation as a minister, as a pastor, as someone who preaches the word, to bring more people to God. So maybe he was trying to, as well as coaching, I think he was also trying to bring his players along, not just for being better as basketball players, try to bring them into the fold and try to make them believers, or more of believers than if they already are, that more believers than they already are. I think that was the case. I think he was trying to drive home, like essentially trying to get people saved. I think that's what he was trying to do. And I think top brass wasn't having it. And they got him up out of there. They spread the word. This guy doesn't abide by any of our rules. He marches to the beat of his own drum. He's about this, and we ain't about that. And
I will believe it had to be more than that. It had to be I would assume it had something to do with that. But I think it had to be something more extreme, because to the point where, what is it, 30-some teams in the league, right?
30, yeah.
And somebody along the line has to be, religious as well. Someone would have gave you a chance.
You
right?
would think.
Someone would have gave you a chance at some point in time. Like, if that's it, if that's all it is, like, yo, I'm bringing, my belief in God or whatever into locker room sometimes. I don't think that's going to prevent you to this extent from working. They have stopped him from getting any work. Like, think about how long ago the Golden State job was. Like, we're talking, what was it, 15 years ago, 17 years ago? I forget the exact time frame, but
he got let go after the 2013-14 season. So it's been 10 years.
That's a long time to not have a job. And all these jobs with these unqualified. We seen Mike bring back Clifford back for another go around.
Yeah,
Cliff
is trash.
You know what I mean? And Mark Jackson's out there. You know what I mean? And it's got to be more to it than just that, because he's a highly qualified coach.
He's a highly qualified coach, but I think we hope that it's more to it than that. But I don't think it is, because if people are speaking on it, and
that's all it was, right?
Mm-hmm.
Draymond, Curry, Clay, those are leaders of the team, right?
Facts.
Those are the guys who were there for this entire run.
Mm-hmm.
They would have spoke out about it, and maybe at
Draymond
some point, has he?
Draymond
in detail on what took place.
When Kenny Smith said those words,
right?
He was talking to Draymond when he said it.
Did he echo it?
See, that's the thing. He was not in his head. He was not in his head in agreement.
I've never heard, and I didn't like this. I've never heard Curry, Clay, or Draymond come to his defense. I've heard him speak kind words of Mark Jackson. I've heard him give him credit for what they've been able to accomplish after he's been gone.
Right.
But they've never truly come to his defense like he shouldn't have been fired.
I saw some kick up from Steph where he was initially let go.
Because Steph is a religious man, right?
I saw Steph tweet something. He was like, "What just happened?" But then I didn't see anything from him after that.
It would have spoke volumes. You're winning, right? After you're winning.
Yeah.
You don't hear them talk about that.
They don't hear them talk about it.
You don't hear them talk. You're winning. You're Steph Curry. You're champions. If you would have won these championship runs, you go on that podium and say, "Yo, I just want to thank Mark Jackson for what he was able to turn." I'm not saying they haven't
done that.
Not on that podium. They give him credit for helping contribute to what they were able to turn into, but they haven't in that controversial. We just won the chip. Yeah, I want to give this guy credit for believing this and turning us into what we turned. We wouldn't be here without him. I don't think they've done that enough. I ain't gonna say they haven't done it, but they haven't done it enough or loud enough. I don't think they've given enough credit or energy.
We've seen coaches get let go, and then another coach steps in and they either win a title immediately or they win a title a year after. We see Doug Collins get let go. Phil Jackson steps in 2 years later, they win championship. We seen Del Harris get let go. Phil Jackson comes in, they win a championship the very next year. We've seen Tony Dungy let go. And I think Gruden came in.
Oh, yeah.
And they won the championship the very next year. But with all the coaches that I mentioned, those coaches that were let go, they got jobs after that.
That's what I'm saying. That's why I feel like it's got to. I'm assuming it has to be more, because to the extent that they've gone in regards to stopping this man from getting work after that, especially when he was a very competent coach.
Yeah, because Doug Collins got the Pistons job after that. Tony Dungy got another job after that,
but those were work performance issues. Those weren't you did something in their opinion wrong. These were we didn't think you could get us. Tony Dungy was doing a great job. But you couldn't get it. You couldn't win us a Super Bowl. We would get into these conference championship games and losing. We're going to get somebody to go over the hump.
Doug Collins got them to the Eastern Conference Finals. They was just They just got not to a game set. Oh, well, not a game 7, but they lost to Detroit.
It was 7, wasn't it?
Nah, the game 7 that they went to, that was Phil's first year, 1990.
When they lost?
When they lost the game 7, that was the migraine game.
Okay. It's crazy they call it a migraine game. Probably wouldn't get no migraine game from if Kyrie or when Kyrie and Love was out, they ain't call it the Kyrie Love injured.
Scotty said
he played too.
He played 35 minutes. They said Scotty, I read his book, Unguarded. It's a great book. Scotty said people come up to him and ask him about it still to this day. It's been over 33 years.
Call it the migraine. Not
he got 6 championships.
Not Mike coming up short. It has to be a reason why Mike came up short. We can call it the migraine game.
It's 6 championships. 6 championships, and people still come up to him and ask him about losing to Detroit in 1990.
That's why Brian the GOAT. We don't got no excuses. We know Kyrie and Love is out. Supposed to get it done
with Matthew
and when you don't get it done, we hold it against you
with Matthew Dellavedova as your second option.
But you got a migraine game.
It's migraine game. So it's safe to say we don't think Mark Jackson's going to get another job.
Unfortunately,
not another coaching job, maybe another broadcaster job. It is wild, disrespectful. You were on the number 1 team in basketball with Mike Breen, Jeff Van Gundy, and Mark Jackson
calling the finals. And
now you're getting knocked down to being a backup for Walt Clyde Frazier in the New York Knicks.
And let me tell y'all guys, I've had NBA pass. All these
I know what you're about to say.
All of these specific team locals, they're horrible. Some, not all of them, but a lot of them are horrible. And to tell me that Mark Jackson can't do that, it's crazy.
He hates local broadcasts.
They're horrible. I have the NBA pass, and when those games aren't nationally televised games, you get the local guys who call the games, and typically they're trash.
Great. In my head, I don't know them, but they have Delco accents. They're like, yeah, we're shooting today. It's going to be a lot of fun, guys. We're going to get out there, shooting over to you, Jeff. It's not good.
Yeah, it's not. It's
like that commercial, like, dribble the ball, he dribbled the ball some more.
Boban. He dribbled again. Well, we headed into the fourth quarter. What's up with Josh Giddey, man?
Yo, listen, I mean, here's the thing that throws me off about the Josh Giddey situation, right? Is that my reaction, because I got him on my fantasy team, I immediately dropped him and signed someone else. Because my anticipation was that he is no longer going to be allowed to play basketball because of these allegations. And until they clear them up, they're not going to allow him to play basketball. It's crazy to me that with this, that seems like a pretty big allegation, right? Yeah. And unless y'all got information that y'all know for sure is not true, and maybe they do. Because I've seen...
For people not in the know, just in case there's somebody out there that might, but what was the allegation?
The allegations are that Josh Giddey was having dealings with an underage girl.
Gotcha. And I don't know. I've seen situations with different players where you get to any off the court issues, any kind of allegations, you're done. You're not playing
at least basketball until it gets cleared up,
right? And let's go to NFL. You can be cleared and beat it in court, and you still get suspended. Basketball, they're a little bit more lenient. Yeah. They're a little bit more lenient with the NBA, but that's a very big allegation for you to still be suiting up, like not just on the team. Like I've seen situations. The kid Porter is done. Porter is done. Porter will never wear. He's a young kid. He can play. He got many basketball years ahead of him, right? He will never set foot on the NBA court again in his career. That's crazy. And he's better than Josh Giddey.
He's better. I was going to say
Josh Giddey has I think Josh Giddey's allegations are bigger. I'm not going to say what's worse. They're huge. They're huge allegations, right?
Yeah.
And Josh Giddey is suiting up. The very next day, I see my man going through warm-ups, playing a basketball. That's crazy.
Not suiting up. Getting major tick.
That's crazy. That's crazy to me.
Major time. Which leads me to believe. Listen, the OKC Thunder as an organization has always been a class act from the front office aspect. So I think they got all their ducks in a row in the sense that I think they're of the mindset that Josh Giddey is going to be clear to all this,
right?
And that's why they letting him play.
You better be right. You better not be taking his word. You better have some. You better have done your due diligence, and you know for sure. Now y'all wrong. She was 18 or she was 17, whatever the legal age is. Y'all know for sure that when he was dealing with her, she was of age. Because if y'all wrong, y'all look crazy for allowing this dude to still hoop when other guys, for allegations, they're done. Porter is never going to play an NBA game in his career. He's better, he's younger, and he's never going to play ball again. That's crazy.
What was Porter's situation?
I think he beat up a girlfriend.
Oh, okay.
Domestic. I think it was a domestic violence case. Maybe it was a pregnant girlfriend or something.
No.
Something. It was something domestic. And
he's out of here.
I don't think they officially. I want to say that he's been released and everything. Yeah, and he just signed a big contract.
Mm-hmm.
He signed $100 million deal, and he's done. So I'm pretty sure they got out of the money. Whatever he did, it allowed him to get out of that contract. So his contract is null and void, and he's no longer on the NBA
terrible
roster. And he is. I doubt he ever gets signed again.
Yeah, it looks like the arraignment prosecution said the alleged attack left
okay, the former WNBA player
with a fractured vertebrae.
Oh my God.
And cut over her eye.
Well, listen, she in the WNBA, she is. I'm not gonna say it.
No, that's crazy. Yeah,
is it really domestic?
God.
All right. Yo, you see that, John? Yo, you see that, John, with the Bulls? Like, I've seen this John on social media. Bulls like, yeah, I went to the WNBA finals game.
Yeah, I see that. I saw you tag.
He's like, yeah, I paid for my joint. He was like, I gave him a dub at the joint for my seat or whatever. He was like, did they give you $18.50 back? I was like, nah, I gave him $20. You know what I mean? I had to pull some more money out to pay him more money for my seat. He was like, they didn't give you $18.50 back. Nah, I gave him. So you bought a whole WNBA team that day. Like that show was crazy funny.
It would have been funnier if the dude making fun of the WNBA wasn't 600 pounds.
No, it was funny. My man said, so now you're a proud owner of a WNBA franchise.
Come on, bro. Come on, bro.
That show, he was like, they didn't give you $18.50 back. You gave him a dub.
It was funny.
You $18.50
it was
back.
Funny. It would have been funnier if you could actually hoop. That guy.
Yo, man, you going against what you always say. Now he gotta be out of hoop for him to have a funny take on the WNBA.
No,
he gotta be able to hoop.
Okay, I take that.
He gotta be under. He gotta be able to hoop.
He ain't gotta be.
He gotta be in shape. He gotta be able to hoop. To have a funny take.
He ain't gotta be able to hoop. He gotta be able to get out of his chair.
Yeah, he got out of his chair.
He did not get out of his chair.
When he said the new proud owner of the WNBA franchise, he got out of that job.
Yeah,
yo, you gotta chill, man. You going against your own word. Now he got.
I'm not going against my own word.
You just said he gotta be at a hoop. He gotta be under 250. Like, yo, he gotta be athletic. He gotta be an athletic build.
No, you can't
to give a take on the WNBA. He gotta be athletic build, and he gotta be at a hoop.
You can't be earthquake and typhoon. You know what I mean? It looked like he's an expert on tag team wrestling.
My boy is funny.
That was funny. I didn't say it wasn't funny. It would have been funnier if it came from somebody like you, or you know what I mean, it would have been funnier if it didn't come from Orlando Pace. He fit from Leon Lett. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, the Josh me on the Josh Giddey situation. I don't know if this is unprecedented, having somebody play under allegations like that. I don't know. I have to do my research to see if anybody else has been under that type of scrutiny and under that type of allegations is still being allowed to play. I don't think anything comes to my memory. Oh, shit. Am I mistaken? Kobe.
Wow, yo, you right. Kobe had allegations and was hooping.
My bad, Josh Giddey. Kobe was facing major jail time.
And didn't Kobe settle?
He settled. And no, I think did he settle or was it dropped?
Kobe settled. She got some bread. She had to get some bread.
Either way, he was indicted and there was a trial going on. And the Lakers was flying him from Colorado to the game in a helicopter, in a plane, whatever. They was doing whatever they can to make sure Kobe suited up, and Kobe was getting busy. That was some of the best Kobe we probably ever seen because his life was on the line.
Yo,
and he was playing
crazy.
Like it.
I didn't think about that. Dang, the Kobe allegation.
See, that's why you got me.
That was crazy.
That's way worse than Josh Giddey. So yeah, there has been a time. This isn't unprecedented.
Okay, y'all handling the situation correctly. It's being handled correctly. My bad. My bad. Y'all handling everything the way it should be handled. Yo, my bad.
My bad. Sam Presti's still there? If he is, my bad, Sam. My bad.
Yo, like they handling everything as it should be.
Because listen, man, we can't be called high IQ if we don't get the facts right.
Facts.
You know what I'm saying? Kobe was out there playing, logging major minutes.
Yo, that's crazy how the NFL, NBA, different in that way.
Yeah.
You're done in the league. Is this Josh Giddey in the NFL? I don't care what position you play. You could be the quarterback, running back, receiver, whatever. You beat these charges, you're still being suspended. You made us look bad.
Made the league look bad.
You're getting suspended.
You made Pepsi and Frito-Lay look bad.
Yo,
we gotta get you out of here.
NFL don't play about their brand. You can go out there and listen. You can go out there and beat those charges. You go to court, you beat them. They found you innocent. Yo, you made us look bad, B.
See,
we're
that's
gonna do our own
thing.
investigation, and you getting these 3 games.
You getting 3 games minimum. But the NFL is of the mindset of, yo, there was enough evidence to bring up charges against you. There was enough evidence to indict you and arrest you and charge you and get a trial going. So yeah, there was something there, and you're getting punished for that. Even if it was just being at the wrong place at the wrong time, you're getting punished for being stupid.
NFL don't play. NBA, you can almost do anything, and you straight. Like you said, they flew. Kobe
they was flying Kobe from
allegation
from trial hearings.
What year was this?
03, 04.
Was this the This wasn't Peyton and them, was
Karl
it?
Malone, Gary Payton,
they got lost to Detroit
in the finals. They still got to the finals. Still got to the finals with all that going on. Got smoked by Detroit in 5. Because Shaq couldn't guard pick and roll.
No, it was Kobe's fault.
Shaq couldn't guard pick and
roll.
It
was Kobe's fault.
Shaq couldn't guard pick and roll.
Kobe thought it was his. Chill. It was Kobe Bryant's fault. He thought it was his turn to take the crown.
That's not.
Let me finish my.
I'm gonna let you finish.
He thought it was his turn to win Finals MVP. Shaq had been out. He had missed time.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not allowing you to come back and be that guy. It's my turn. And Shaq came back and he was still that guy. I remember a game, and I remember Phil Jackson post game after that game was over. Shaq put up a 40 piece on them boys, and he was like 16 and 19 or something, or 20 or 24 or something crazy. Shaq put up 40 and some change. The 15 to 20 boards. Shaq had one of those type games. And I remember Phil Jackson walked up and was like, yo, we wasted one of his Shaq's, maybe one of his last great games, because they thought Shaq was done. They said we wasted one, and they wasted it because Kobe was over here chucking up 30, 35 shots, and Shaq only got like 20 shots. They lost because Kobe thought it was his turn.
You done?
I'm done.
Okay. Shaq has gone on record.
And they're nice. Kobe ain't here no more.
Can I finish now?
I'm just saying, you about to say some bullshit.
No, because this is not. It's not bullshit. This is Kobe in his one-on-one with Shaq. So Kobe was still alive when Shaq said this. Shaq had got hurt.
Right.
And Shaq was supposed to get off-season surgery. Shaq refused because Shaq said, and I quote, "I got hurt on company time. I'm going to heal on company time," which messed up the chemistry of the team. And Karl Malone, for the first time in 19 years, decides to get hurt. And Gary Payton was a shell of himself. Gary Payton and Shaq has also admitted to this, that they couldn't stop the pick and roll with Chauncey Billups and Rasheed Wallace, which led to Chauncey Billups. They all won by committee. Detroit won by committee. 4-1 smoked them. But Chauncey Billups was a catalyst because he was hitting open jump shots off of that pick and roll or kicking it to Rasheed Wallace for an open tray or open 18-footer because Shaq was reluctant. Either he couldn't or he wouldn't step out to guard Rasheed Wallace and help out on that pick and roll, leaving Derek Fisher and Gary Payton, respectively, out on the island, getting cooked by Chauncey Billups. Now, granted, Kobe did chuck a lot of shots, and that did not help the cause. But defensively, in these low-scoring games, because
That's what I'm about to
games.
Neil,
Points are at a premium.
Neil,
Points are at a premium.
We're getting killed by pick and roll, but you're scoring 80 points.
Yeah.
Don't seem like defense was that big of an issue.
Which means points are at a premium, which means points are at a premium. You have
and you're taking 30-something shots when you should be feeding this man on the box so we can go eat.
That is hyperbole.
Yo, your points are at a premium, right? And you taking these contested jump shots and you missing Kobe shot 30-something% in that series. And we can go to something that is we know we can eat here. They playing this man one-on-one with 6'8" or 6'7" Ben Wallace, and he can't do nothing with Shaq, and you refuse to feed him because you think it's your turn.
I seen Shaq go up for a dunk. Ben Wallace pinned the shit.
Listen, I'm not saying Ben didn't have moments. I'm not saying Ben didn't have moments. Ben is a Hall of Famer based upon what he did on the defensive end. Facts. What I am telling you is he could not do anything with Shaq. And Kobe thought it was his turn, so he wouldn't feed Shaq, so Shaq didn't get busy as much as he should have. Shaq should have led them to the NBA Finals championship, and he should have won Finals MVP. Kobe didn't want that because Kobe thought it was his turn to get that award.
And they also couldn't defend pick and roll for shit. They couldn't defend.
They averaged 80 points a game. I don't think pick and roll defense was an issue.
And the 80 points a game, and 72% of the points was pick and roll.
I don't care if 90% of the points was pick and roll. You average 80-something points.
And they couldn't stop.
If you feed Shaq the way you're supposed to feed Shaq, all that shit don't matter.
Shaq has admitted to this.
Shaq is being nice.
Your points are mute.
I'm not being mute. Shaq is
admitted to it.
Shaq is humble.
We could go
watch.
We can go
watch Shaq. We can go to the tape and watch the series.
Okay, guys, hold on. Wait.
This is my fault. This was my fault, Kobe.
We can go to the series.
He said it to Kobe's face.
Go watch the series.
He said it to
Kobe's
watch
face. The series.
I'm so sorry for all our audio listeners. You're like, what is happening right now? Listen, okay, at the buzzer, Ray, I'm sorry, buddy. It's 62-58.
Yeah,
that's where we're at.
He over there talking crazy.
I know, and I let you guys run.
You go watch that series. You'll be able to tell everything I'm saying is facts. You feed Shaq, you win that series, and you win that championship. The very next year, Neil, this gonna prove my point. The very next year,
no teacher.
Shaq should have won the
quarter's
MVP.
done.
You can't score more points when the buzzer sounds.
Shaq should have won MVP the very next year.
Stopped.
Yeah, it's not.
Here's
the good news.
The viewers know.
Yeah, the good. Well, that's what I was about to say. The good news, because you guys at any point, remember, you can kick it to them. All right, so we're gonna say, hey guys, check out the screen if you're watching on. If you're watching right now,
was second in MVP.
Guys. Yeah, sorry, we can't talk over each other. Bad podcasting. So, like, go on right now. Get onto the iTunes, the YouTube, whatever. Put it in the comments. Let us know who you think, because I'm not the greatest judge. Let us know what you think's going on. Score is going to Brian. Game's to Brian right now. Right, there it is. I'm so sorry, Ray. I don't want to keep powering him, but it's just
y'all, go back and watch the go and get what's it?
We'll let it to them. If they get back to us and they're like, nah, Ray's right. Overwhelmingly, if you guys get messages.
Series, they lost that series because Kobe thought it was his turn. Shaq was still dominant. Shaq should have won MVP the very next year. 2 years later, he won a championship with Miami.
Okay. It's been heard.
Facts.
Let's see. I'm interested to see what everyone actually thinks. This is gonna be fun.
Now you talk about Miami. We ain't talking about Miami.
Giving
We
out
talking
these
about the
facts,
Lakers
man.
against the Pistons, bro.
Backpack.
But now we on that's what the score should be, 62-44. That's what the goddamn score should be. We're gonna get into our OT. You know what that is? That is off topic. Apparently it's the most popular segment of the Ray, you wanted to talk about the situation with this young lady who went out on a date and got everything that she wanted from the date and still wasn't satisfied.
So I'm on social media. I found this on social media. I'm on social media scrolling or whatever, and I seen this little video. So the girl says, I went on this date, right? Me and my girls always talk about what we want from guys and what they need to do, and chivalry's dead, blah, blah, blah. So she goes on this date, right? Guy pulls up, knocks on the door, rings the doorbell, whatever. He got flowers. And she said, off top, I'm like, man, you a little aggressive, ain't you? Got the flowers or whatever, right? So then I walk to his car, right? He opens up the door, lets me in the door. Like, so then she said, as soon as I sat down, I pulled my phone out. This ninja is weird. You know what I mean? So bull gets in the car, takes her out to her restaurant of choice. I'm following the rules. I seen the little list. I ain't taking the cheesecake. I'm taking you to your restaurant of choice, blah, blah, blah. So she said they had a great date, blah, blah, blah. And she says she had to check herself because this dude did everything that she says that I would love for a guy to do. And she said, my first thought was, yo, this dude is corny. You know what I mean? So that made me think, like, I'm sitting here looking like, well, you know what I mean? I think women don't necessarily, they always scream like, oh, chivalry's dead. Guys don't move like the guys from back in the day, how they used to treat women. I don't think women necessarily want to be treated. I don't think that's necessarily with the expectation. I think women want to be treated like that from whoever that guy is they like. And that guy, whoever isn't treating them like that, ain't never treated you like that. So you suddenly want him to suddenly start bringing the flowers and opening the door and doing all these things. But he ain't never did that. He didn't do that to get you.
Yeah.
So you want him to transform into this, right?
Mm-hmm.
But then you finally, say you break up with this guy because he ain't doing those things, right? So I break up with you because you ain't doing these things.
Mm-hmm.
And I go on a date and meet the guy who does these things. And I instantly think this guy is corny and I can't deal with him. I don't know. I don't. How do you win? If that's what it is, right? How do you win?
This is the first time in my life I've been triggered. I have been. This is me. 100%.
Yeah. To answer your question, you don't. You can't win. It's not set up for us to win. Number one, none of us are a women's first choice. Let's get that out. Let's get that out the way right now. I heard somebody say, only reason why she's with you is because the guy that she really want never got it together. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
That's just facts. Like, it doesn't matter how well you treat a woman if they don't like you. It's never going to be enough.
Facts.
I've seen guys give that women the world, and the world ain't enough. I want the solar system.
Right.
Solar system ain't enough. I want the whole Milky Way.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Right. Like, it doesn't matter. Once you set the bar, they always raise it because they don't really want to be with you in the first place. Meanwhile, you see all these dudes have multiple kids by multiple women. They straight scumbags, and the girls never leave them. Why? Because they like them. That's the one that they want.
Right.
They want the guy, like you said, they want the guy who ain't shit to become the knight in shining armor.
Facts.
And it's also because women are vain. They want to be able to say, I did that.
You know,
I
what's crazy?
changed him.
You know what's crazy? And I ain't gonna bring no names up. I've seen situations where a female have a guy, right? Nice looking guy, whatever, and he's treating her, doing all those things, right? He's moving that way, but she don't like that guy. She want the piece of shit guy.
Yep.
She want the piece of shit guy. So she'll leave the good guy to go out here and deal with the piece of shit guy, right? And complain about the piece of shit guy because he ain't doing all the stuff that the good guy was doing. You know what I mean? And find herself bouncing around from piece of shit guy to piece of shit guy.
She a fly.
And lo and behold, you had everything you were supposed to have at the beginning. You know what I mean? Like, I've seen that from afar. I've seen the girl have the ideal situation, but find herself out here looking super crazy because that ideal situation wasn't enough.
No.
Can I ask your opinion? Because I'm 35 now and I'm single, right? And I recently dawned upon me, I just might be a nice person.
Right.
Bad. Not a good thing. Because everyone's just like, you're kind of like a bitch. Like, I'm like, and I'm like, I was raised correctly. I apologize, everybody. But the one thing I noticed was every once in a while with that situation, because I have that situation, but I'll also, you got to throw like a little, you got to like ask her if she wants to fuck in the car or something. You got to throw something in there that's like risque.
Right.
Just to throw her off. Like, whoa, okay. I'm like, no, we don't have to, whatever. You know, just because I get that all the time.
I was blessed because my mom raised me to show me how to treat a lady. My dad showed me how to treat everybody else. So I can separate the two. I know the difference.
Right.
Thankfully, because of them. I just think it's a no-win situation. Get these negative labels on guys who do the right thing. They open the door. They say nice things. They take them wherever they want to go. They treat them well and all that. And you hear things like simp, lame, fuck boy.
See, I heard this one joint, right? She said that as a guy, the worst thing you could do, like say you're in a relationship with a girl, right? And she cheats on you, right? She said the worst thing you could do is take her back. Because, you know, she might be begging for you to take her back. She might be crying, "No, please, I'm sorry, I made a mistake, take me back." But she really don't want you to take her back. You know what I mean? She's never going to respect you. You know what I mean? She wants the guy who is, "Oh, you made a mistake, you crossed the line, it's over, that's it." You know what I mean? You lost me, I'm gone. Mm-hmm. She wants that guy. She doesn't want the guy who is willing to forgive her. So I think, you know, with females, like they want, like you said, a little risque. You know what I mean? Yeah. Like you want the guy who is got a little dickhead in it. I'm not going. You want me to open up? I ain't open up the door. You better get in there yourself. She want that guy to turn into the guy who opens up the door.
They want toxic.
They do want a little toxic. They do a little spicy.
You guys think this guy was funny? Here's my thing. I think they could go on a date and he's doing everything right, but I don't think he was funny. You know what I mean? Or like, she didn't like him. You nailed it, like the liking part of it. And I think it's maybe just also you could be doing everything right, but the personality just might be you know what I mean? Just personalities, like, you know.
But
she don't want safety and boring.
Saying that she made an opinion about you off the top.
Right, you're right.
Before you got a chance to present
you didn't even
who you were. Or in her mind, you have to change my mind. In my mind, you're corny.
Damn.
So going forward on the rest of this date, everything you're going to be doing, and he don't know that. He don't know that.
Yeah,
I'm already behind. I'm already behind on the points. You know what I mean? She already think I'm corny. He walked into the situation like, "Yo, I'm winning. I done brought flowers. Right. I done opened the door. I done took you to this restaurant you went." He thinking he up.
Yeah.
But really, yo, you corny. And after this date, I ain't never answering your calls again.
Right. Corny's gotta be.
So he can't move the way that he need to move because he think he up. So he stand on that same path. You know what I mean? When we get done, I'm gonna open up the door again, let you back in. When we get to the crib, I'm gonna tell you I'm not even gonna kiss you. because I respect you. You know what I mean? Like he on all respectful time. Like, yo, I'm gonna save that for next date because I like you. So I'm when I get home, I'm gonna call you, let you know I got home.
Stop triggering me, dude. Stop
all
all of this, please. This is embarrassing. This is me in my 20s.
Meanwhile, I mean, Neil, at this point, since you feel that way, as soon as you get into another date, just take it to a drug deal right on top. Sell a pack before the date start.
I gotta make a stop real quick.
Right, that'll win her over.
Yeah,
Bruh.
so just
Like,
sell a pack.
I got one.
No, we're going to a Brazilian steakhouse. I just gotta make a stop.
I'm gonna have this kid. Period.
Facts.
Should have been on.
Definitely. From now on, if you feel like you're pinned in a corner and you think you're getting the corny tag, just take them to a drug deal.
Listen, man, don't open no doors. Start right there. Don't open no doors.
still
Unlock
did
the door.
I did it recently.
Unlock it. Don't.
Yeah, they got to get in. So you got to unlock the
Don't
door.
open that.
I did it recently, and I saw her look at me, and I forgot. Like I keep forgetting. My mother just raised me right. I opened it, and I saw her face go like, "Oh," like surprise. I was like, "Dude, I just thought of Brian. I don't know why, because every once in a while, Brian on stage, I think of him, and just me being like, oh shit, that's right. Fuck. I just get it for everybody. I get everybody's door, dudes, whatever. I always do this. Like, anyway, sorry. Good OT.
Yo, you know what it is? Like, I'm married, so I ain't in that world. But if I was in that world, I would have to be told. I think you have to tell me to do that. Like,
okay.
If a girl told me to, I would do it. Like, yo, you ain't gonna open up my door? Oh yeah, I got you. But I don't think it would be my first initial reaction to do such.
Listen, I don't even open doors at Wawa anymore.
Yeah. I do. I'm gonna hold that door, even if it's inconvenient for me. You could be all the way at the pump.
I don't
You could be all the way at the pump. If I see you walk in the door, I'm gonna hold that door.
Too many ungrateful MFers, man.
No, people at Wawa be wild nice.
Oh, I check them. See, that's you got to start checking them. I opened for a woman one time. She said nothing. She didn't even make eye contact with me. Like, not even like a recognition.
It's expected at Wawa
right
now.
Right. It's expected. So I just went like, you're welcome. Like, what? You think she was hot? She thought she was like big shit. I was just like, you're welcome. Like, what? And she was like, oh, you're talking to me. Who are you?
See, that's why I don't do it.
Yeah, you're right.
That's why I don't do it
Wawa
anymore. And I'm the
top tier.
And I'm the asshole.
Wawa etiquette is top tier, man. And people treat you real nice at Wawa.
I know.
Well, I'm not that guy. I'll never be that guy again. Do we have time for one more?
Yeah, go ahead.
We got one more OT, and this is the tire situation.
So I saw on social media as well, right? And I saw I see it's different ones, right? So there was one that someone posted, it was a meme, and then there was it was something I think it was I heard it on the radio. So I heard mine on the radio. On the radio, they said, "Are you, as a man, are you sassy if you can't change a tire?" Now, but I think the meme was, is a man sassy if he calls AAA? Now, my thoughts on this are, I do know how to change a tire. I think it meant you should know how to change a tire, right? Because there's going to be some situations where that's what's required of you, right? So if I'm in the wheel and I catch a flat tire, I've been at the house, walked outside, seen my car was flat, going to the crib, I'm calling AAA. I'm not sitting down the call. I'm not changing the tire. I paid for this. You know, I'm going to make that phone call. You come out here and change my tire. But if it's dark outside and we in some dangerous area and they say it's going to take 2 hours for it to, I'm going to change that thing to get us up out of there. So I think I'm not doing any extra physical labor if I don't have to.
Well, you're paying the money for it.
Right.
You know,
So I'm going to
the
get
point.
there. I'm going to call Triple H.
Yeah.
But if it's required, Triple H.
Sorry, I love it. No, I like Triple H.
Put up Triple H on the screen.
Yeah, right.
Put up the game on the screen.
But if it's required of me to change the tire, if that's what's needed in that moment, I'm going to do it.
Shout out to Triple H. Yeah. Anything that I pay for, I'm expecting the service. I'm not changing a tire.
You're not
at
changing
all
the tire
in 2023. I'm gonna get to that. I'm not changing the tire, even if I knew how.
Gotcha.
Which I don't.
Sassy.
That's not sassy. Well, hey,
listen.
Listen.
Say,
Hold on.
No.
But
Go
hold
back
on,
and say.
Let me finish.
Say I can't change it. Do this though.
That's why I was
break
going,
your
I was
wrist.
going-
Break your wrist.
I don't care. I don't give a damn. I don't care about, listen, 9 times out of 9 times, the people posting the he's sassy if he do this, he ain't a man if he do that, are women. I don't give a fuck about what y'all say. I don't care. I know what a real man is, and I know what a real man does. You're not going to categorize me because I don't know how to do something, or I refuse to do something because I'm paying for that service. I'm paying for somebody to come out and change my tire, which means I don't have to know how to change a tire. I don't know how to cut my own hair. That's what barbers are for. I don't know how to cook a 5-star meal. That's why we go out to eat.
What do you do? You got daughters. Your daughter's in her car. Dad, I'm scared. I got a flat tire. Can you come? You go, nah, B, I don't know how to do it. They said tow truck ain't coming for 2 hours. What you gonna do? I can't do it.
You can figure it out. You can YouTube it if you need.
What you gonna do? I'm asking you. You sitting here with this blank stare. What you gonna do?
I just told you.
You're not changing. You got girls. You're not changing the tire. Well, she needs you to change this tire. It's gonna take 2 hours. I gotta be somewhere.
My daughters have AAA.
I just established that the tow truck
have AAA.
The tow truck that they call is not scheduled to come for 2 hours. They give you a time frame. It's not, Dad, I need to get here. It's very important. I gotta go to graduation practice.
Why are you coming out with these?
I'm giving you a scenario. I'm on my way to graduation practice.
They gotta go
I need to get here
in the car.
So what you do? So what you doing?
Call AAA.
It's taking 2 hours. I'm going to miss it now unless you come change my tire.
Devil's advocate.
Wow, I'm changing the tire.
I'm on both on this. I think I'm on both. But here's the one thing I will say, right, that I think we're missing is like the scenario plays out. One, I'd be like, well, did you check your tire pressure, young lady? Like, what are you doing? It's your car. You paying attention to it? Like, what's going on? Two, put a white t-shirt in that thing. I'll come pick you up. I'll drop you off.
We'll
pick it up later.
We always talking about equality this, equality that, until we get into a situation where it doesn't benefit them to be equal. If you want to be equal, this is what being equal is about. If you want to be equal, then learn how. What's stopping you from learning how to change a tire? What is stopping them from learning how to change a tire?
No tire.
Why?
Yo, that has to be.
Why?
I get what we talking about. Equality. Why? My daughter's not changing no tire.
Why?
My wife's not changing no tire.
Why?
I'm going to change the tire.
Why?
Or she gonna have to wait for AAA.
Why?
That's just what it is.
Why?
Because women, certain things women are not capable of doing.
We gotta wrap this up. That's the end.
I mean, come on, this is
all the women in my family know how to change a tire. Just let you know. Everyone. We grew up on a farm, so yeah, every woman in my family knows how to change a tire. Brawny, they know how to change a tire. Absolutely.
I'm gonna really throw you for a loop. What? Deej knows how to change a tire.
Can Deej change a tire?
She has changed a tire.
So you told me she can get the bolts off. Them things can sometimes you know what I mean. You gotta put a little into it.
Yeah. My wife can change a tire,
and you can't.
Guess what?
Sassy. That's wild. Neil, that's not wild.
No, it's not.
Sassy.
It's not.
Your wife can change a tire, but you can't.
Yeah.
So if y'all get caught in a wild situation where y'all it's middle of the night, y'all driving home, when y'all went to New York for the weekend,
give me
and y'all driving home,
scenario.
and y'all driving home is in the middle of the night, and y'all catch a flat tire, tow truck ain't coming for 2 hours. Deej gotta get out and change that joint, or she gotta walk you through it.
Deej don't gotta do shit. She can pick up the phone and call AAA.
You're waiting for 2 hours.
Yeah, so what? I paid for it.
Neil,
I paid for it.
Neil, third party. Come on. You're in the car. It's middle of the night. Tow truck tells you it's 2 hours, something that can take you 15 minutes. You're going to change it, right? Neil, I'm anti work. I don't want to work. I don't want to do anything extra that I don't have to do.
Yeah.
If I pick my phone up and they say, well, tow truck ain't coming for 2 hours, something that can take me 15 minutes.
Yeah.
I'm not waiting here for 2 hours. I'm going to do 15 minutes.
Of course, convenient. Yeah, I would just.
You said, of course, right?
Saving time.
Now you paying for shit that you're not even using.
That is true. I've been in this. Wasteful. It is. No, it is true. I've also been in the same scenario. Like, I really should call somebody because I pay for the damn thing. I don't use it.
All you want. If I'm paying for something, I expect that service.
That is sassy. That's fine. Can change a tire.
No, it's not.
You can't change a tire.
No, it's not.
How about the financial aspect of he's not sassy because he makes enough money to be able to do? I don't change tires, man. I got other people for that shit. No, that's not sassy. That's I know. I get you. I'm saying I'm just devil's advocate.
It's just that doesn't disqualify me
right
from being a man.
No, not
I
at all.
Say you wasn't a man.
What?
I just said you were sassy.
You
sassy. You can't change it. Yo,
what is
men
sassy?
should know how to. I'm not saying I'm not
sassy?
saying you should not utilize your AAA. I've utilized mine many times in occasions when I could have changed I have utilized AAA in many occasions when I could have changed the tire on my own. I have done it.
What is
and I will
sassy?
Sweet.
And you know that's not me.
I'm saying in this particular instance, the fact that you can't change a tire is a little sweet. It gives a little sweet for me.
You're being hypocritical. You're bringing up the daughters, but
I'm giving you scenarios.
Okay, all right, and I'm giving you one. Your son is in the same situation. Are you coming out to help him?
You better know how to change a tire.
No, answer my question.
No, I'm on the phone with him.
No,
I'm on the phone. You bet you want to change the tire, baby?
And I'll be like, and if I was him, I'll be like, that's fucked up. Because you wouldn't do that for your daughter. You wouldn't do that to your daughter. You want the same equal rights for your daughter as you want for your son. You want your kids to have the same opportunities. You want your kids to have the same walk through life. And you're being hypocritical towards your son and being favorable to your daughter. That's bullshit. They both better learn how to change a tire, or they both need to know how to call AAA.
Neil, can we?
And we're done. The old saying goes, if you don't work, you don't eat. Well, there's a new saying for the new generation. You either grind or starve. Established in 2015, Grind or Starve Apparel has become the premier fashion brand for today's hustlers, entrepreneurs, and CEOs in the making. The online store provides groundbreaking styles and innovative designs for today's go-getters, proving that you can grind and look good at the same time. Grind or Starve has several collections to choose from. The new GOS Luxury, Designer, Location Apparel, rep your city to the fullest, Fitness, Barber Edition, Stylist Edition, and Baker's Edition. Go to gosapparel.com the next time you need a hoodie, polo, G-shirts, bags, all made with the best quality materials. Grind or Starve. The choice is yours. Go to gosapparel.com.
Hey everybody, how you doing? This is comedian Neil Wood and
Adam Nutter.
We can't do it like that. You have to sound like a human being. That's insane. Because I'm realizing how little you're talking.
Adam Nutter.
I could just take, if you just want me to, honestly, you know what we need to do is you just need to get that clean.
Adam Nutter.
And then I'll just pop it in wherever I need to, bud.
Adam Nutter. Let's do that.
Come listen to the Cult of Us podcast. That's our promo.
Adam Nutter.
A DropTent Media Network podcast. Go to DropTent.com or search Cult of Us podcast on your favorite podcast platform.
I'ma have to tie up my Nikes for this one. I'ma go for like a quadruple double. I'm playing the game to win, and greatness come from within. The only time you lose if you only never begin. Gotta be like the shoes and just do it. The clock is winding down, so now shoot it. If fortune favors the bold, that's why I keep on just winning. If timing is just the essence, then I'ma keep on just spending. I'm worth a couple of bucks, shout out to Antetokounmpo. Dropping in B-ball facts that's seeping into your glue buds. Advising like Tony Kukoc, we getting into it mucho. Directing all these plays like my name was Tony Russo. Ballin', that's how we do, so I'm going in for the win. Penetrate the lane like the way back in 2010. I'm stomping straight in my Timbs. The basics just like I'm Tim. I'm dunking on you haters. A poster is where you live. It's magic all in my wrist. Steph Curry, we going swish. It's showtime like the 80s. Basketball is where we live. I'm highly gifted and skilled. I'm going in for the kill. The game is on the line. Raymond Byrd, hey, yo, what's the deal? Pass it to Brian Isley. I bet he probably surprised me. High IQ basketball is the show and it's not a hobby. Playing the game to win and greatness come from within. The only time you lose is the only never begin. Gotta be like the shoes and just do it. The clock is winding down, so now shoot it. We playing the game to win and greatness come from within. The only time you lose is the only never begin. Gotta be like the shoes and just do it. The clock is winding down.
This has been a DropTent Media production.